You're here because you want to test the IAC and its functions. Connect the scan tool and select Bidirectional Test, and from that menu, select IAC Position Test. Your scan tool screen may look different, but on there you must have position state and the engine RPM and buttons to increase and decrease the engine RPM. Start the engine and allow it to fully warm up. Press the button to increase the IAC state. The IAC state should then increase in incremental amounts. If the IAC is working, the RPM will also increase. When the IAC state increases, you know that the PCM can recognize when to change the IAC position. And if the RPM changes, you know that the IAC is moving and not sticking. Continue to increase the IAC state and watch the RPM like here. You're going to have a limit. Our limit is 2500 RPM. Then start decreasing the IAC state and watch the RPM until you're back to where you started. If the state doesn't change with each increase, decrease, go to PCM test. If the state changes and the engine RPM doesn't, check the IAC and its passages for carbon. Check the IAC's electrical circuits. Clean and replace the IAC as required. If your scan tool doesn't have bidirectional tests, don't panic. You can still do an action and reaction test. You need to tell the computer to raise RPM. You do that by pressing the AC request switch. Turn the AC on. And you can see in our example it says on. If the PCM can respond to the input, it should change desired idle speed. And in our case, it did. It went to 1000 RPM. If it didn't, you need to go to PCM testing. Look at the top now. The engine speed is 784. It did not reach the desired idle speed. That means that you have to check the IAC and its passages for carbon, check the IAC's electrical circuits, and clean and replace the IAC as required, just like we did with the scan tool. So your action and reaction test is almost as good as a scan tool bidirectional test.